Okay, I just caught an error as I was looking back through these. This is not 1964. It said do not round until the final answer, so we could not round that K. So I want to make sure I go back and show you the right way we should have gone from that point. So you kind of have to know where you're going with this, so it's a little tricky. So the idea of how I solved it is correct if they allowed me to round my K, because my math lab's not going to allow you to do it. If they'd let me round my K, I would have plugged this in and then had the natural log of both sides, and then I end up dividing at the end. So essentially, whatever we get for our answer, we want to divide that answer. We want to divide natural log of 0.79 by that answer. So this becomes a little tricky because then we would want natural log of 0.79 to be divided by what we had here right before we divided this, which is the natural log of 1/2 divided by the negative 5,600. So what I'm trying to do is kind of where I solved to get this decimal, that's the decimal we got is what ends up being underneath natural log of 0.79. So this is the only way to so you could still solve it this way and just remember to redo this to get it, but that would be kind of, tricky. I don't like that they don't let you guys round this one in the middle. So when we type this in, hopefully we'll get it should have been 1904. It's actually overestimated because we rounded, and by quite a bit. So 0.79 natural log divided by parentheses 1 divided by 2, and that's also going to be natural log, and then that's going to be divided by the 5,600. That is negative. And that does not give me the right answer. I think I did that in too many steps. All right, so we could multiply that on top. So 5,600 negative times the 0.79 natural log, hit enter, divided by 0.5 natural log, hit enter. Yeah, so 1904. It came out negative because I had solved for my K negative, so actually you would just want this to be 5,600. So now we have a formula for this. So without solving this problem using the whole method that I did of going through 2 steps and rounding, in which they did not want us to do, if you encounter this problem on your exam, here's how you should approach it. You're going to do natural log of the percent wanted, which will turn that into a decimal. So decimal, number, over natural log of half-life divided by number of years. So this is kind of a generic formula for how to do this specific problem without having to do any rounding in the middle. And what I did to type it into the calculator to make it work is I multiplied the top and bottom both by 5,600. So that means the number of years your half-life is times the natural log of that top number divided by the natural log of 1/2. So I'm sorry about that one. That was my bad, but because I didn't read the do not round until the final answer, and it does throw off your answer by quite a bit. There's no real way to get around that, because if you cut off that decimal we got at any point, which it's non-terminating, you're going to get a rounded answer. So the thought process here is correct, but it's not going to work. So if you guys did this one and show all your work for me on your scratch paper when you take the test, I would look at that and I would say, okay, this person actually knew how to solve this problem with a rounding in the middle. And I would probably give you like 95% of the points. So, but this is technically how it should be done, since they said do not round until the final answer. So my bad on that one, but that's how you get the correct value.